Welcome to Unshakable with Human Design, the show dedicated to helping entrepreneurs use human design to shift from hustle to flow without sacrificing results. Come here to become an unshakable human and build an unshakable business according to your human design. I'm your host, Nicole. Hello and welcome to Unshakable with Human Design, everybody. I'm your host, Nicole, and we are here today with another episode in our profile series. I have been enjoying this so much, and we've gotten such great feedback from people telling us how much they're loving these episodes on profile that we're actually going through the entire profile instead of just the lines. People have found that really helpful, and we're actually having a contest. So if you want to share with us what you love about this show, what you love about this series, what's your profile, what are you learning from it, share it on your Instagram, tag me, I'm at Nicole Official, and you can win an opportunity, you can win a chance to have a reading right here on the show, a human design reading or coaching session with me. It's really whatever you want it to be, but you can ask me anything that you want. This is something that I charge a lot of money to do privately, so you can win it absolutely free just for sharing this show with your audience and helping us get the word out about it. But more importantly, what I really love about this series and why profile is such a cornerstone in what I do with human design, whether I'm working with somebody on their business, if I'm working with an entrepreneur, if I'm working with a corporate client on, elevating their leadership skills, I'm working with somebody with their kids. It is so crucial because profile is really telling you what your process is for living in alignment with your purpose. If you're not in alignment with your profile, then all the purpose work, all of that wondering who you are and what you're here for, if you just focused on living in alignment with your profile, you would actually probably answer a lot of those questions. It tells you what you are uniquely good at. It tells you what I call it your X factor with your profile. I think that it is your X factor in your brand. It's the thing that makes you you, probably more than anything else. It is the flavor of your magic, and it makes you so individual in what you do, how you do it, and how you show up. It also tells you a lot about why things work and why some things don't work in your life. It tells you a little bit about what your story is going to look like and maybe why your story has looked the way that it's looked in the past. Now, that might be that it looks exactly the way that it should have. It's so in alignment with your type, with your profile rather. But it also, maybe there are things that you were resisting that caused you more pain and more struggle than if you had just surrendered to what was. And I think today we're going to be rolling into the 3-5, the Martyr Heretic, another lovely name for us. Nothing sounds more positive than calling someone a Martyr Heretic. I mean, come on now. I think of all the names, this is the least awesome sounding one. I would want to be called a Martyr Heretic. I look at them as innovative problem solvers. I think that sounds a lot better and really speaks to the potential that is in this profile type. But let's talk about the real name, the traditional name, and where it comes from. That martyr can come from the 3 is the martyr. And the reason they call it that is that, that's the shadow, honestly. It's the 3 learns and goes through life down a path of trial and error. You have to be out doing things. And when you're out doing things and you're trialing and you are erroring, that can cause you to feel like, can cause you to be pessimistic, can cause you to feel like nothing works. And it can feel that way, especially for 3s early in life. But if you have a 3-5 kid, embracing the fact that they're going to fail a lot, and they have to be taught to do that. They have to be encouraged to fail, or you will set them up for a lot of struggle in their life. If you are upset when they drop a glass, if you are yelling at them when they make a mistake, if you are disappointed in them, and I think that we're going to talk about the 3-5, and then the next episode is going to be the 3-6. So last episode was the 2-5. So it might seem like, 3-5, 2-5, maybe they're the same. No, The 5 stays the same. Now the 3-5 is one of those major profiles. Lots of people are 3-5s. Fewer people are 2-5s and 3-6s. So the 2-5, now we're going to change the personality. We're going to change this person's like outward expression. That 3. Going to go from a 2 that's a natural, and that's just sort of like kind of finding their talent and their way. And then we're going to go to the 3, which is going to be breaking stuff, which is going to be they're here to find what doesn't work. And that can be hard. It's different than the 1-3 with the 3 in the unconscious. It's not the part that they identify with as much in the 1-3. But a 3-5, they know they're a 3. They feel that they are a 3. And the world sees it because it's a very demonstrative sort of profile. The 3 tends to get in some trouble. They might be rebellious. They might be somebody who, like if they're a kid, they might be breaking things. They might be tripping over stuff. They might be seemingly screwing everything up. Now, that's not me saying that this is a terrible thing. It's their process. It's how they learn. And I know that a lot of 3-5s know that, but I still see them in my experience working with 3-5s. I still see so many of them resisting the trial because they are afraid of the error. So when I have a 3-5 that comes to me, or any 3, but I see this, the 3-5s have the hardest time with this, and I'll tell you why in a second. But the 3-5s have the biggest trouble with really going after things. If they're in the shadow of this 3, they are bumping up against themselves because they are afraid of making an error, of it not going right, of some experience from their past, like a mistake that went horribly wrong, and they have never forgiven themselves for it, coming in and making them feel like a failure all over again. And I get it. There's trauma a lot of times in the 3s. But a 3-5 also has that 5 on the other side. That's the projection field. The 5 on the unconscious side, where people are looking at them being like, I bet you could fix things for me. I bet you're the person who can help me. And then they choose you, or your parent sees this potential in you, because the 5 is going to be what other people see in you, what other people feel. That projection field is going to pull people in. And then you're going to make a mistake. Something might not work. And then they're disappointed. The projection was not fulfilled. I thought you would be this, but you turned out to be that. And I'm not happy now. And the 3 is just going, the 3-5 is just going, I'm just being me. I'm doing everything I told you I would do. I'm being who I am. And this is what's so interesting about conscious and unconscious energy. Unconscious energy is, you can't escape it. It's always there. You can't do anything about it, and you can't do anything about the 5-line projection. You can't do about anything about any of the projection fields. They're always there. So you have to learn to fortify yourself from that. And I look at my husband as a 3-5, and he's a very successful 3-5. I've talked about him on the show before, but I'm going to do it again because I think that he is a great example of somebody who has lived as an unapologetic 3. As somebody who has never been afraid to fail. It's just not part of his DNA. He's not scared of failure. He's not scared of he's not scared to suck at something. Really not scared. And when I look at the other famous 3-5s, so as I was putting this together, I was like, who's a 3-5? Kate Winslet is a 3-5. I think she has a very resilient, powerful nature to her. She definitely seems like somebody who is daring, who shows up to her work willing to do lots of different things. She's known for that in her work, that working with her, she's open for anything. She's very in the creative process. And that's the potential that 3s sometimes quit before they reach, to really be able to figure out how things work. And they are known to have the greatest potential for success if they can overcome their stuff. But I see this with 3/5s where they're so afraid to make that mistake. They're so afraid to get their hands dirty. They're so afraid to do anything. Then if I have a 3/5 who's a generator or a manifesting generator, where you have to purpose fulfilled through doing, generators, you can't live your purpose if you aren't doing stuff. If you aren't following your yeses and listening to those no's and doing the work that feels good for you, building the things that feel good for you. So that's double for you. It's going to be your type. You have to do stuff. And then the 3 that says, I just got to do it. I'm probably going to break it. But you know what? I'm going to learn something from breaking it. That is the key. My husband never had that fear. He was never afraid to break something. And then I look at the other 3/5s that I found in like my research. Bruce Springsteen, 3/5. He's someone who mastered the guitar and never afraid to, now he's a manifester, so a different way of showing up there, but never was afraid to not play well. He knew that in order to play, to be great, he had to suck first, get to be sucking a little bit less, and then get to be kind of good, and then get to be pretty good, and then get to be good, and then get to be great. That's the process. We have to go through that. For 3s, you really have to go through it. 2s, you're not probably going to have to go through it. It's going to be your natural talent. You're just going to pick something up. There's going to be things that are your thing. You're going to pick them up, and they're just going to kind of work for you. A little magic like that with the 2. It is a harder one lesson for the 3. The 3 has got to dare to break stuff. And then once they do, once the 3 breaks stuff, it goes, oh, I get it now. And I get it differently than everybody else gets it. Because other people might be able to follow a process. Okay, if I do this, and then this, and then this, it'll all work. But what happens if you do that, you follow the steps, and it doesn't work? Or we need to come up with a new solution, or we need to come up with a new way to look at this, then you're probably going to need a 3. You're probably going to need a 3 that can go, yeah, I'm not afraid to get in there, play with it, and see what else we could do. Because the 3 loves new stuff. The 3 is resilient at its highest. And then we've got that 5 on the back end. If you are resilient, if you are trial and erroring, if you are messing around and getting to know the things that you do, digging in, you will be able to provide innovative solutions for people. You will have amazing ideas. You will be able to lead. My husband is self-taught. He is a computer programmer, architect, web architect, and completely self-taught. And in his company, he works for a big company, and he has people who went to MIT and Princeton and Yale and these very fancy schools. And he did not. And some of them are very good. I'm not ragging on people that he works with. But there are also people there that whenever they have a problem, and this has been his kind of what he's known for. If you've watched Pulp Fiction, there's Harvey Keitel's character in Pulp Fiction where he helps John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson's character clean up the dead guy in their car. And they called him the Wolf because the Wolf was the fixer. Mr. Wolf would come and fix everything. That's what I called my husband, because when nobody else can fix it, when it's broken and nobody else has any idea, and they're all panicking and they're all freaking out because they're so used to things going to plan that when something doesn't go to plan, they don't know what to do, or they have their 3 things that they can do because they've tried those before. They're not resourceful like that where they can just go in and fix anything. That's my husband. That's how he made his mark in his company, and he has risen through the ranks because of that. Because when all else fails, you call in the wolf. You call in the guy that when it's all breaking, he just says, give me a sandbox, I'll play around. Like they're like, do you want to do a meeting? We can brief you. And he's like, no, give me a sandbox, I'll play, which is like a little area for where you're not messing with the code in any production. You're in like a playground basically to go and mess with the code and not screw up anything else further. Give me a sandbox and I'll play. And he figures it out. Sometimes this is things that they're working on for weeks. And in like half a day, he figured it out because he can follow the breaking. He can follow what happened. And if he finds what's broken, he might find something else that's broken. And he can follow that. He's so used to it not going well. He's so used to having to figure it out that he's better at figuring it out than anybody else in the company in that division that he's in. So that's the potential. Sara Blakely is another 3-5. She famously has that story about her father, how he taught her to fail. That asked her and her brother, what did you fail at every day? And if they said nothing, that was the only time he was disappointed. That's being a fabulous, fabulous parent to a 3, because she was able, the resilience that she had to be able to keep going back after prototype after prototype after prototype did not work. You'll hear her in interviews talk about how everybody told her no, how everybody told her it wouldn't work, that she went to factories with men who had been doing things for ages and just said, you're never going to be able to create this product that you're talking about. And she just never took no for an answer. She never accepted that. And now she's the founder of a $1 billion company from the ground up. That's remarkable. That's the resilience of the 3. And that's the 5 that tried girdles and corsets and other things and said, no, 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 no. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. I have a solution. I have an idea. That's the potential of the 3-5. But they often quit and give up before they get to reach that potential, because I'm not going to lie and say that it's easy to be a 3-5. It's not. I think some people handle it really. I don't think my husband's bothered by it at all. I don't know. I think Sara Blakely was raised in a way that she was conditioned to be okay with the more challenging part of her design. But ultimately, from what I see with people that I work with, the 3-5s definitely have a tough time. They can have a struggle. And one of the first things that we work on, what I'm saying to them over and over again, you are a 3. You have to dare to fail. You won't figure it out. That 5 wants to figure it out. That 5 is trying to logically put it together and wants to save everybody. The 3-5 who wants to put out a program or a product or something, but they haven't really figured out what they do. That's the 5 pushing its way to the front, being like, I want to lead. But you've got nothing to lead with if you haven't failed yet. The failure is where your genius is found, and most people are too scared to go there. But again, like I said, the 3 is here to be resilient, brave. We have to be brave first before we can be resilient, because we're resilient because we've been brave and brave and brave over and over and over again. And we keep getting up and we keep doing it and we keep going. The 3-5 is also going to know when it's time to quit, when it is time to move on. What are the things that you're meant to really trial with? You have to follow your strategy and authority into that. But there's so much potential in this type, in this particular profile. There's so much potential for success and to really be somebody who's different. And that's your magic. But if you aren't really embracing this profile and you're learning about human design and you're getting readings and you're buying the books, but you aren't going out there and doing the thing, you probably will not find your purpose. The path is through the trial and error. The leadership, that's the potential of the 5, can't be found until you collect a bunch of broken stuff and you say, I tried all of these things, they don't work. So I came up with something new. That's what it's about. So I hope you loved this. I hope you loved the episode. If you want, we have a Human Design X Factor by Design guide, a profile guide. DM me X Factor, just the word X Factor, please. If you put more words in there, it probably won't get to you, or it'll be late because I have to go manually find it. If you just put the word X Factor, and you can spell that with a dash or without, we have it both ways. But if you just put X Factor in the DMs, I'm at Nicole Lano Official, we'll send it to you. The bot will send it to you instantly. But if you put a message in, you're probably going to have to wait for me to get to my DMs. And I have jam-packed days, some days that I don't get to them right away. So if you would like that guide, we also have something really exciting kind of in the works, which if you DM me on Instagram and tell me that you want to know about this new little course thing that I'm dropping, that's very much around this title, just DM me Waitlist, and I will get you on the wait list for that, because this is going to be pretty amazing. I'm very excited about it. Probably going to be coming out in the next week or so. So I hope that you loved this episode. Please share it so that you get entered into the contest at Nicole Official. Tag me. And remember, in order to have an unshakable business, you must first become an unshakable human. So thanks for letting us help you become unshakable with human design, everybody. We will see you next time. If you loved this episode and you're a fan of the show, please show us the love on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to the show, and leave us a review. And if you'd like to connect with other entrepreneurs on their human design journey, join our free Facebook community, Human Design for Entrepreneurs. Go to NicoleLano.me/podcast links to join the group, book a human design reading with me, or access our free human design resources. We'll see you there.